Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers, and this is NE245, and this is Module 10. And we are happy with our animation, our walk cycle animation, and now we're ready to move on to creating play blasts. We're going to need 4 of them: front perspective, back perspective, side, and front view of the walk cycle, so I can grade you properly. And we want to make sure that we put the same amount of treatment, and we want to add lights. We want to make sure we get all that finished so we can get a really nice play blast, so I can grade you appropriately. So now we're going to go in here, make sure everything's smooth and polished in your graph editor. Graph editor is the go-to place to make sure you're that you can make changes and smooth things out, smooth your curves out, make sure they look good. Do all the tweaking you need to tweak before you turn it in. Alright, so once that's all done, play the animation. You're going to notice that there's like a little pause there because we have 2 frames on frame 0 and frame 24. So to smooth that out, I can take frames 24 out. So what I can do is I can pull this timeline back to 23. Go ahead and play the animation, see how that looks and if that's looping good. We don't have any pauses now. That looks pretty good. We've got the nice offset, overlapping animation on the head and the feet and the hands. You can see that's all working. It's nice and smooth. And the best thing you can do is make sure that you put all your controllers into a layer so you can turn those off. And the controllers are really distracting. It's hard to see what your animation looks like. So while you're polishing, you probably need to turn those off. Just put those in a layer. And how I did that was I just went to quick select sets and clicked on this one, and it actually highlights everything for you. So all you have to do is go in there and shift select the center one there, and then you just apply it to a layer. And you can turn that off and on at will. So when you're animating, you have those on because you have to have the controllers on to be able to animate those controllers. But if you want to just test your animation, go ahead and play it without all those controllers. You can really see and just rotate around the whole character as you play the animation so you don't miss anything. Maybe your hand is going through something, or through your leg or something like that you didn't catch before. So just get at every angle that you can and look at it while it's walking, while it's animating, so you can just kind of pick it apart and make sure everything looks good. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, pretty smooth. I'm going to go back, and now we need to just kind of get all the camera angles set up. And I think you know what to do with that. I'll get you started with one, and then I'll pause the video and show you the angles that I have. There's some things that we need to set up here. Of course, we need to go into the render settings, click on that, and we need the Arnold renderer. And we're not worried about these right now because we're not really rendering anything, but we may want to use, we do want to get it into an HD 1080, and make sure you do that for resolution. And then I'll take you through the process of getting the camera set up. Again, you want a perspective front and a perspective back. All right. And we need to probably put lighting in here to be able to see the details, even though this is okay. But I'm going to go ahead and get the camera set up and everything. So we want to kind of center it. The only way to know how it's going to render out, we're going to go for the window, perspective window. We're going to click on resolution gate and resolution mask, and then I'm going to go ahead and get this field chart in here so I can take a look. Once I get the character centered, and then I'm going to turn off the field chart and then go to safe action. What we want to do is we kind of want to fit that body into this to get the best possible composition. You don't want it too low or too high. So we just want to kind of get it straight on, okay? And leave maybe a little space between the two here, up and bottom, top and bottom. So let's go ahead and play it and see how that looks. Okay, so you can see how the foot's going through the floor right there. If I pause it, and it's going through right here. See that? So I just got to pull it back a little bit, move it around. Just make sure it's not going through out of frame, and the top's going out of frame a little bit. So as it's walking, I'm moving the camera around so it fits real nice in frame. That's what I'm looking for. So once you get that done, you can stop it and go to View. You can go to Bookmarks and Edit Bookmarks, and I'm going to click on this one right here and Apply. Okay. Now it's remembered the old camera that I had before. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on New Bookmark, but I'm going to need to get back to where I had it here. Okay. And let me play it real quick and get that back set up really quickly. Back where I had it. All right, that looks pretty good for perspective. Go back to Camera or Bookmarks, go into Edit Bookmarks and click on New Bookmark. And we'll rename this whatever you want. So I'm going to do front. This time I'm going to spell it out. Cam, there we go. And just hit Enter key and click Apply and close. So that should take care of that one. And then I'm just going to leave this up, and I'm going to go to this view, the back view of it, of the character. Again, do the exact same thing. Get it all set up and play the animation and get as close as you can without cropping anything. I think that looks pretty good. And go ahead and add the camera bookmark. New bookmarks, do your little thing, back perspective. There we go. Hit enter and apply. Close that. And then make sure you guys do the scene time code, so you can do display, heads up display, and click on scene time code. You got to have that in all your animations. Okay, next thing is the side view. So those are easy. You can just go to the side view and turn off the grid. And we can do that by going to Show, Viewport, and down at Grid. Just go ahead and turn that off. And we'll do that with the front view here. There we go. Get that centered. And turn off the grid. Just like that. Okay, so front and back, side. Okay. You're not going to get, I suppose you could add this stuff to it. Up to you. And we can get nice and tight in there. And get that viewport all set up. And do that for the front as well. Center that the best you can. Alright, so you got your front, your side, and just pull back a little bit like that. There we go. Okay, and the back. So we'll go ahead and do those play blasts. I'll do the first one. So I'll go to View, Bookmarks, and I'll go to Front Perspective Cam. We've already got that set up. That looks pretty good. So we're not ready to do anything with this yet. Okay. So we need to add the lights. So I've got lights in there already. I turned them off, but I'm going to turn those on. And that's the next thing you're going to add are lights in your scene. And you can see I'll start with the key light. Okay, so the key light is just a directional light, and you guys can pause the video and you can type in these exact numbers if you want to. Just pause the video and type those in. That's the key light, and it's at intensity of 0.8. And then I've got a fill light, and you can pause the video again to get those numbers, and the intensity is 0.4. And then the fill soft light, again, you can copy those, just pause the video, and this is intensity of 0.25. And then we've got a rim light or a fill light in the back. And again, you can go ahead and copy these numbers by pausing the video, and then intensity is at 5. That's the only thing. And because we have a floor that's really dark, it's really hard to see anything. So let's go ahead and make sure we go to lighting and go to use all lights. And when you do that, we get a lot nicer looking character. And the lighting looks good. It's nice and bright. We can see everything from the back to the front. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the grid. The grid is no longer needed, so I'm going to go to Show, Viewport, and scroll down and click off Grid. I do have the fake ambient occlusion turned on, so you can do that by going to Render, Viewport 2, and I've got the screen space ambient occlusion enabled, and you can copy the numbers I have here. Let's pause the video, and it should give you something that looks similar to this. Your lighting, again, you can tweak that out. You know, if I go to the back here, I'll probably take this light and just rotate it around a little bit like that so you can see the back better. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it the way it is for the front and then make some adjustments to the back. So that is basically it. I think I covered everything. You don't want to show any of the controllers or the lights, so make sure the lights are above, out of the viewport. And when you're ready, we should have the frame up. And so I'm going to go to View, Bookmarks, and Perspective. And there we go. I'll play it one more time to make sure everything looks good. And looks good. And then when you do a play blast with all these, all 4 of them, go to play blast, go into the option box, and I'll take you through this part real quick. Same thing as Boney and his jump forward play blast. So AVI, XVID, quality 100. I think everything's set up pretty much the same as I had before. Okay, walk cycle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and copy this, Control C, and probably should put perspective in here, PERSP, and that will be front. Just to kind of make sure we name everything. Okay, so with that done, I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and we're going to tell it where to go. And you put it wherever you want to place it. So you can create a new folder if you want to in here. And I'm going to call this Annie 245. And this is going to be module 10, MOD underscore 10. And we'll place it in there. Okay, just copy and paste that I had before. Whoa, too many. There we go. Take one of those out and save it. And then, of course, Play Blast. It won't take long at all. There we go. Watch your Play Blast. Of course, it's going to be janky because this doesn't really do a good job. So it's okay. I'm not going to take points off of your player not playing it or looping it properly. If I really need to see it loop properly, I can open up your OBJ file. But that, I'll be looking for other things, how smooth it looks. Did you get the overlapping animation in there? Are the shoulders and hips rotating properly? That type of thing. So anyway, looks good. Happy with that. And of course, then you can go to the other perspectives, get those all in, and it shouldn't take long for you to get those done. And so you're just going to go in there and do the same exact thing. Playblast, do your thing. And this will be side view, and then you can go to the front view and do the same exact thing. Playblast that, and then of course you'll go to the back view and maybe turn your lights around a little bit so you can see the back a little bit better, like that. Just make sure things look good. Go back to your bookmarks and go back to that and do your Playblast. That's it. And you'll have 4 Playblasts to turn in, and I can't wait to see your guys' work, see how you guys did. Hopefully you had fun this week, and I will see you next week for Module 11.